Metal Jesus here, and I am back with Reggie. We can do the bro fist, dude?
Yep. That's how we do it. And today we're going to do a combined pickups video.
I know.
I'm excited for
I've never done one of these before. Combined.
Oh, combined.
Yeah. I've done like 40 pickups videos, but never had somebody over. And this one's perfect because you and I went to the same expo. So that's what this is going to be about, right?
Yeah, we went to the Seattle Retro Game Expo, the Portland Retro Game Expo, and some are just regular pickups that we picked up over time.
Yeah, so this is going to be kind of like a best of his stuff that he picked up, I picked up, and we're going to throw in a couple little things here and there, dude. But dude, some of my holy grail items are in this video.
Oh, I need to see these.
All right, let's take a look. All right, dude. So we got the badges.
Yep.
So you have the one from Portland.
Yeah, this is like the reference to Back to the Future, the 10th Expo, so it's really pretty cool. So. And
then I have the one for Atari Age.
Nice.
So Atari Age had these for their forum members. Mm-hmm. If you went up and asked them for this, so.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. Hey. So who goes first, man?
I guess I'll start off, and I'm gonna grab the first item I can reach here. I picked up Techromancer recently.
On the Dreamcast.
On the Dreamcast. Now, Techromancer is a game I've been looking for quite a while. One of the last Dreamcast games I really wanted. It's like a tech robot game. It's like a robot fighting game.
Okay.
And it's made by Capcom, which Capcom back in the like early 2000s, late 90s, they were putting out some gems. And it's arcade perfect, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's like a 3D fighting game, but it's not too technical. It's like just a certain amount of buttons, a couple of moves and stuff like that. But it's really cool. So, pumped up about this one.
That's cool. I'm going to reach over here. So speaking of Atari Age is this awesome website I mentioned a ton. Mm-hmm. They support and manufacture homebrews. And so I was excited because they were releasing some brand new homebrews for the Atari 7800, the brand new 5200 games there.
Wow.
Yeah. And they do them in the box if you want them. So I have two here.
Nice.
You say you look like you're gonna ask me a question.
Yeah. Did they put them out a lot during the year?
Yeah. So they're kind of the go-to website for most Atari homebrews.
Oh, wow.
Because they support it so well, and I believe they manufacture them. They certainly sell them. So I picked up Star Castle on the 2600. Star Castle is an arcade conversion.
Right.
So this was an arcade game, but I don't think it was ever made on the Atari.
I think it was on the Vectrex too, right? Star Castle?
Probably would have been perfect because this was a Vectrex game. Okay. Or a Vector
type game.
But this is awesome because they went all out. So the box art, of course, is beautiful. Like, look at that box art,
yeah,
right?
It looks hella good.
But inside in here, there's a full manual, and there is a cardboard cutout kit that you can make your own arcade. So in here, there's instructions and paper to build your own little mini arcade.
They're really hooking it up in these boxes and stuff, so they're serious business.
Yeah, and this is $50, so completely. I mean, it wasn't like really expensive, but again, they debuted it at the expo, which I was pretty excited for. And then here's as far as I know, this is an original homebrew. It's called a Wall Jump Ninja. Now, the reason why I bought this, it's kind of a silly looking cover here.
Yeah.
But I played it because they had a demo, and it's really fun. So basically, you're this ninja, and you just need to sort of stay alive as long as possible.
By jumping back and forth?
Yeah. It kind of reminds... There's an iOS game that I played a ton that was very similar to this. I forget what it was called, but the thing about this game, it's fun. So
that's what it's all about.
And in the box, and brand new.
And this is for the 2800, right?
The 2600.
2600.
Yeah, the original Atari.
I always get it mixed up for some reason.
I think they actually were going to make a 2800, if I remember right. Yeah.
Wow.
So really cool. When I heard Atari Age was going to be there, that's one of the first places I went. Wow, because they sell out.
They sell out.
John Hancock buys them all.
Oh.
Of course.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'll start off with another item here. Now, the weird thing about this game is I've had it. This is my third time owning it. This time I'm never letting it go. Blood Will Tell for the PS2. Now,
I covered this game in a Hidden Gems video.
Oh, did you? Yeah. Blood Will Tell is a really... I don't know how to describe it. It's a really... a different type of a samurai game. Basically, you're trying to help this guy. I forgot his name, the main character, but he's 48 demons have taken all of his body parts, and he's trying to get them back.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's a cool game because it starts off in black and white, you know, and then it
because he's blind and everything. That's why they do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's cool, and it's just a really amazing game. If you could find this game, I mean, it won't let you down. It's really unique and cool.
And it's going up in price too because it is one of those. I think it only came out on PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
And it's one of those where. When people hear about it, they want it.
And the game is really story driven too, and also it is really long too, which is very surprisingly like you think you beat the game and then something else will happen. So it's really cool.
All right, one of my holy grail items I was so happy to get at the Expo, and actually I want to tell a story of this. Is that I've been looking for? Well, I'll just show it. Elemental Gearbolt on the PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
And originally. I've been looking for this for a long time. Yeah. John Hancock brought this over, and it's a light gun game, and it's amazing. And essentially, what I did was I reached out on Facebook, and I was like, dude, if anybody has a copy and they're coming to the Expo, please bring it here. I'd love to trade, sell, buy, whatever, right? And a friend of ours.
Yeah, Jesse offered it to you, which was really cool,
I know.
Man. I mean, I was shocked. I didn't think anybody was going to answer. Because
Nobody did.
I know, right?
Because if you have this in your collection and you like light gun games, you keep it.
Yep, definitely. It's really anime inspired. Like it has cutscenes and stuff like that. It's really a unique game. I mean, as far as shooters are concerned,
it is. Well, one, it's by Working Designs, and so they also modified it a little bit for.
They made it harder for us because the Japanese version was like a cakewalk, from what I hear.
Yeah.
But I wish I could have just chose the difficulty myself.
I know, because this is a very difficult game, but it's cool. Like you mentioned, it has anime cutscenes, and they're like hand drawn. And also, I like the weapon selection where it has the 3 different elements.
Yep.
3 different kind of types of bullets that you can fire. It has really cool boss battles, and it's a beautiful game. It runs really well.
And it's weird. It also has it supports a special controller, the analog controller that we did in the PlayStation video. So it supports that. So that's pretty cool. So that might be a different way to play the game.
Yeah. So another working design game in my collection. I'm pretty happy about that.
Nice. All right, it's my turn again. I got this at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo from a friend, Chris. Samurai Pizza Cats. Now, I never saw this before, but I heard this was actually a cartoon that came out in America for a little while.
Yeah,
which is pretty cool.
Riggs mentioned that.
Yeah, so it's like I picked this up. Thanks, Chris, for this. And the game is pretty unique. Like it should have been over here.
Yeah.
Like I have no idea why this wasn't released here. It's like kind of plays like maybe kind of like Rockin' Cats in like if you heard of Rockin' Cats for NES, it kind of plays like that a little bit. It's a side scrolling platform game. Really fun. You can switch between the characters while you're at any given moment during the game.
Did you get this from Riggs or his booth?
I got this from Chris Timru. He was at there. And he had a booth and he sold it to me. So, yeah, a really cool game. I'm happy to have it.
That's cool. Oh, hey, before I forget, another thing I picked up. I've worn this shirt before. A really cool dude who makes these shirts. It's Rockheart, tees.com.
Oh, okay.
I know, isn't that awesome?
I know, right?
It's like metal, and it's like the Super Nintendo controller. It's awesome.
Awesome, dude.
So I just want to give a shout out to this dude. He sells these. Pretty cool.
Cool, awesome.
Should I show another game?
Another game.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so I went to the All Gen Gamers panel discussion. Pete Dora was there, and Jason Heine, and of course Gamester. I sat in the out with the audience, although they wanted me to come up, but I was like, no, it's cool.
Right.
Yeah. But I was really glad I went to that because Pete was talking about some hidden gems, and specifically the topic of Godzilla came up, and somebody asked him, what is one of the best Godzilla games ever made? And he mentioned Godzilla Domination on the Game Boy Advance. And then immediately afterwards, I left that panel and saw a copy complete. I was like,
dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, when my friend was telling me about that game too, he was looking for it too. He said it's the best. Nick, he said it was the best like Godzilla game ever too. He actually found just a box in the instructions for it, so he's just looking for the game now. But
I must have got to it early.
It was just really cool, like that about this game. Like I heard like really good things about it.
Supposedly, it's very similar to the Neo Geo. What was it? The King of Fighters, the King of the Fighters, or whatever it is.
The King of Monsters.
Oh, I'm sorry,
King of the Monsters. King of the Monsters.
Right. Yeah. And I guess it plays very similar to that.
Well, that's perfect then, because that game was a lot of fun.
But it was really cool, again, to go to that panel. Pete recommends it. I leave. And you 5 minutes later, I was like, sweet!
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, another one from me. So I picked this up with a quickness. This is the PlayStation.
With a quickness?
I know, right? As soon as I saw it, man, it was like, I had to have it. So I got this at the show. This is the PlayStation arcade stick for the original PlayStation. it's just something really cool I wanted to have because I guess I consider myself a PlayStation enthusiast, like PS1 enthusiast at least, and I had to have it. You know, it's not like I'm going to be playing many fighting games on the PS1, but maybe I'll play some shooters with this. You know what I mean?
Do you remember how much that costs?
It was $10.
Oh,
$10. Yeah, so you know,
no brainer there.
I saw another guy selling it for like 40, so I was like, oh, okay, that's easy.
The fighting sticks have been going up in price. I mean, like for instance, I looked forever last year for the Dreamcast one. And,
oh my god, yeah,
dude, hard to find.
Yeah,
I think
really
you helped me find one last year.
I think I did. I think I pointed you to the right direction.
Yeah,
I think so, if I remember right. So many games, so a lot of memories. But yeah, cool arcade. So it's really well made, and happy to have it in the collection.
Cool. Let's see here. Oh, okay. I want to mention this game here. Reggie, you are like my guardian angel for Vita games. you look over me, you make sure I'm well taken care of, and so you messaged me on Facebook, and you're like, dude, you can go and buy a physical copy of Resident Evil Revelations 2 in Canada.
Yeah, and the game is in English. It's not, you know, it's perfect.
And I wanted to play this game on the Vita, but again, it kills me to pay full retail price for a download. You know, and it uses a ton of space on the card anyways.
And you have to buy certain sticks for the Vita, like, you know, it's not, you can't buy any like second or third.
No, you have to buy the actual Sony brand. It's crap. And so
it's just really good to have a physical release for the Vita because people think the Vita's dying down. It's not. It's just that they're slowly releasing games for it, and they're kind of like iffy on physical releases, so you have to like pretty much go out and look for the physical copies if they're being made. So
and I was really happy to get this. I've been playing it for a while now, and it looks and plays fantastic. So it
really does. A lot of people.
Did you finish this?
I finished it on the PS3, and I'm still playing through the Vita version. I'm like on the 3rd chapter, I think. You know, but I think it's well done. I mean, it's a really solid game.
Yeah. I really enjoyed the previous one. I played it on the 3DS.
That one, yeah.
And it's fun, but again, the 3DS is a little bit underpowered, you know. So I was really looking forward to playing on the Vita with some little bit better graphics and stuff. You know, this version of it.
Some people complain they think the 3DS one has better graphics than this one.
Really?
But the thing is, this one was actually downgraded from the original HD versions, which came out on the older systems. So downgrade and upgrades, they could be. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. I mean. I'm not too worried about whether the lighting is perfect and all that sort of stuff. Again, for me, it's really nice because I play the Vita usually on the couch when Rebecca's watching a movie, or maybe she's playing a game, and so I can be playing a game too. And you know, on its screen, it looks great,
and it gets the job done. It's scary. It's Resident Evil on the go. So perfect.
Cool.
Oh, I guess it's my turn again. Actually picked this game up yesterday. Now, you know, I didn't even practice how to say the name, but I'm going to say Sayuki Journey to the West.
That's one of the best parts having you on, is just watching you.
I know, trying to struggle to say the name of the game. I saw this game years ago when I was like probably in my early Army days, and I never picked it up. This was sealed, and the guy sold it to me for $20, and I thought that was cool. It's like an RPG now. It seems like a tactical RPG. Now, I haven't even opened it yet, but for a sealed PS1 guy, I just had to get it. You know what I mean?
Which is funny, by the way, that if you watch Reggie's channel, what's your channel?
Radical Reggie.
So it's not Cadillac Gamer.
I changed from Cadillac Gamer because my buddy Andy said, "Hey man, you should call yourself Radical Reggie." And I said, "Oh, you're right." And I threw it on there, and people found it easy.
Well, what's cool about his YouTube channel is that you open sealed games.
Yeah, it's called Breaking the Seal. You know, I don't want to have sealed stuff in my collection. I'm going to open everything, except if I have a stadium event sealed, then that's going for sale. But cool game. It should be a cool game. I haven't tested it out yet, but I'm sure I'll like it. So awesome.
Cool. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Something a little different here. You guys know I work at Sierra, and while down in Portland, Drunken Master Paul is always looking for big box PC games. I did not have a copy of this, so it's Space Quest 1 in the Sarian Encounters. I don't know. I should probably not.
Roger Wilco, the name sounds familiar, like for some reason.
Well, there was a bunch of Space Quest games that Sierra released, and then this is, I believe, and you know, forgive me if I'm wrong. The adventure section of Sierra was not my forte. I was actually in the simulation arcade unit. But anyways, Sierra remade a bunch of the really early versions of their games in the 90s, in the early 90s, and so they upgraded them to have more colors and stuff like that.
Okay.
They updated the engine and stuff. So I believe that's what this is. And that cover, though, one of my favorite things about the Space Quest games are the silly covers. These are kind of comedy games where Roger Wilco is a janitor and he ends up saving the universe somehow.
Well, it's kind of funny. This looks like the monster's trying to serve him a drink or get him drunk, or it's just like it's hella funny. Look, like he's like, what the?
Again, the Space Quest games have some of my favorite covers, and so it was really cool for him to find this.
Now, is the game pretty playable? Is it pretty fun to play?
Yeah. The only thing is, going back to those old Sierra games, they're difficult with their puzzles. Like they'll punish you. You'll die.
Oh, for not completing a puzzle?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So it kind of sucks.
Okay.
But I mean, the thing is that now that these games have been out for so long, there's tons of walkthroughs and hints.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I think this even comes with a little hint guide in it.
Oh, nice.
But it's the original, floppy disks and everything. It was pretty fun. I opened this up at work, and one of my coworkers is probably about 10, 15 years younger than me, and she never sees floppy disks. Most people don't anymore, right?
I know, right? She's like, what is that?
What is that, right? It's so funny. So cool to have that.
Okay, I guess it's my turn again. I got this recently. This is the document of Metal Gear Solid 2. Now, basically, from what I've heard, this is came out before Metal Gear Solid 2. For people who wanted to know how the game was made, and it has a couple of playable levels in it. Like you can play some training missions.
Oh, interesting.
Because before Metal Gear Solid 2 came out, I mean, it was hyped up hard. People were going crazy wanting to play it. So they released this, and I got this complete, and it's pretty cool. If you want to look at it has a lot of stuff in it. I'm guessing because they filmed around New York and everything, they have a lot of locations there that I haven't really watched it yet.
That's right. I
actually think the Twin Towers are in here somewhere in here too, so it's kind of cool. You get to see that working around that and everything. So it's pretty awesome. So my Metal Gear Solid collection is almost
cool,
Metal Gear Solid collection almost complete, or what I would call complete.
All right, I'm going to cover two games here. This is at the Seattle Retro Gaming Expo. There was a ex-Microsoft Xbox employee there.
Yeah, I remember seeing him.
And it was this little dinky kind of booth where this guy bought, and he just had it packed full of original Xbox games.
Right.
And a bunch of stuff that either didn't come out in North America. He was part of, I think, the testing team or something, or maybe the conversion team. But a bunch of really interesting stuff I'd never seen.
He had a lot of stuff, man. He had drawers of stuff.
Yeah,
it was pretty.
Yeah, talking to him was pretty interesting too, because he's like, he didn't know if anyone would actually care. Because
we care.
Oh yeah, we care. So I actually bought quite a few. The first one is Alien Hominid
for the Xbox.
The
version that got canceled for America. It's like, wow, why did they cancel the Xbox one?
Yeah, because I haven't played this yet. I haven't had time, but I suspect this is going to run really well.
Yeah, running gun shooter. I mean, it's really well done. It's kind of tough. Well, at least it was for me, but it's a really solid game. They did a really good job on that game.
Yeah, I know a lot of people love this game when it first came out. It came out on the PS2 and also the GameCube, right?
GameCube as well. There is a Game Boy version, advanced version, which was only released in PAL territories.
Oh, really?
It was actually a game, one of those Flash games on his website. I think it was called Newgrounds. I can't remember the name.
Oh, okay.
But it was actually on there, and it was real popular on there, so they eventually ported it to a system, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then the other game that he had there, I actually bought a ton of them, but a game I've been looking for quite a while, and that is Angelic Concert, which is a rhythm game. Now, if you look on lists of sort of top 20 original Xbox games that didn't come out on anything else, this usually shows up.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and I haven't had time to play it since we got back from the expo, but I was surprised to see it there because, one, I mean, you never see import original Xbox games when I'm out and about. So the fact that this guy was there and had these, I was like, and in great condition because I don't know what he was doing at Microsoft, but they were testing them for compatibility or something like that. So anyways, I'm excited to check out a new rhythm game for the original Xbox.
Yeah, because rhythm games are pretty I mean, all I know is Parappa the Rapper, Gitaru Man.
Right.
Yeah, I almost messed that one up. And a couple other DS games, I can't remember the names. Are Space Channel 5 maybe? Dancing or Rhythm?
Yeah, that's a rhythm game.
So it's just not that really many of them that I know about, or at least I don't know if that got released in America. But
and the Xbox, I don't think had very many other than sort of like the standard.
Yeah.
They maybe had Dance Dance Revolution, I'm sure. But,
it's funny, you think about that game, like if someone's dancing like that with no music and you look at them on the floor, like, what the...
That's so funny.
Okay, got some next here. So I went to the same expo, the Seattle Retro Gaming Expo, and I finally picked up my very own copy of Hothead Joe.
Hothead Joe.
With alternate cover. So,
who is Hothead Joe?
Hothead Joe, alias Crazy Joe.
Yeah.
It's a good friend of ours. He started the Seattle Retro group that we're in and everything. And he's a video game enthusiast, and he got his own game made. A hack, it's like a hack made, like just like mine and everything.
Now, Riggs made that, right?
Yeah, Riggs made this one. And I got this from him at the show. Pretty cool. So now I got Reggie's Radical Adventures and Hothead Joe. So 2 combined games.
Joe is what's the system that he collects for? Or has an entire?
Well, mainly he was collecting for the NES system.
No, but what was the obscure one that he had?
Obscure?
It's not the Panasonic 3D.
Oh, the Laser Active.
Laser Active.
Yes.
Doesn't he have a complete collection of that? Something.
Just about, probably, because like there's not that many games out for it. So. But he has a complete Laser Active system with the Turbo pack, the Sega pack. He has a karaoke pack. I mean, his Laser Active is pretty much complete. So pretty awesome.
He and I will have to do like a buying guide or something like that. He'll have to
definitely
help me out with that. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Two PlayStation 2 games I picked up. Well, okay, are you saying yes because of that?
Both of them.
Okay, well, cool. So Reggie and I recently did this survival horror, right?
Survival horror, yeah.
And when I went to Portland, I had a list of those games because, again, I didn't own very many of those. And Ghost Hunter by Namco on the PlayStation 2 was one of them. You helped me find this.
Yeah. I saw it and I didn't think of nothing of it. And then you said, "Hey, Reggie, I'm looking for this game."
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, it's over here."
Yeah.
Then we ran over there. We couldn't find it, so I panicked. I was like, "Geez, I felt hella bad." But then you ended up going back over there and you found it. So
yeah. Well, the thing is, Portland's so massive, and it's easy to forget exactly what booth,
Yeah.
So I was really happy to get this. I can't wait to play. This looks awesome. This is out of that video. I was like, wow, that looks like a game.
It's basically what Ghostbusters should have been. I mean, honestly, it has a good story. I mean, the graphics seem like it really pushed the PS2. Like, I mean, the graphics are really good and the story is well told. So I'm glad you have it.
And then I also picked up a game. You know what? I picked up this game. I didn't know anything about it other than the title, and I was like, it looks rad. It's Atlas. It's by Atlas. It's called Samurai Western. So you're familiar with this?
Oh yeah, and it's what's cool about this game too. It has an alternate cover too. Like if you can flip the cover, and the cover's really.
I think cool. the other side is a little bit water damaged, so I flipped it. But
the game is actually a co-op game too. It's 2 players. You can play as the samurai.
It's like a beat 'em up, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Like hack and slash. Pretty much go in there. And the second player gets to play as the gunslinger.
Oh,
so
really?
It's really cool. So yeah,
Ooh,
it's really
you can actually do like a let's play of that. That's fun.
Exactly. It's a really fun game. It's from the people who made the Way of the Samurai games. If you're familiar with that, so it's like kind of like a side story to those games.
Another game which you don't really see out and about very often.
No,
I don't think this game did really well, but you are like the second person to see it going, ooh, that's a good game.
I actually remember buying it when it first came out. Like I got my paycheck out, Samurai Western.
That's cool.
My turn again.
Yes.
So I picked up Splatterhouse 2. Now I had this game already, but I opened up the case and the game was missing, so I lent it out to somebody. I don't know what happened. So I was like, might as well get another one. But I found one in box, and it's missing the manual. But what's cool about it is the guy in here had the Namco card in there, which some people really like, but somebody printed out a manual for it.
Oh, okay.
And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, they're not going to let that stop them.
Yeah, so they even put codes in here and everything. So Splatterhouse is really wow, for Genesis, man, I would say it was ahead of its time. Yeah. It's pretty scary, gory.
Dude, that cover eerie. Is so evil looking too.
I know, man. Like I just love the Splatterhouse game, so happy to have that in the collection.
That reminds me is that I do love buying a used game and you open it up and there's somebody's codes in there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like high scores and stuff.
Yeah,
too?
like a little piece of paper or something like that. It's like so cool.
Yes.
All right, for me, let's see here. I'll mention this one. This is a game that a friend of mine sent, Dr. Retro. He's a fellow YouTuber. He just sent this a couple days ago. He's a really cool guy. He is a massive collector over in the Netherlands. What I like about him is that he's a collector like me, where he collects some console stuff, but also PC, like big box PC, which is pretty unusual, right? So his videos are really cool. But anyways, he found this at an expo and asked me if I wanted it, and I was like, hell's yeah. So have you ever seen these? Where these are the double-ended Atari 2600 games? You probably did because you worked at a store.
I No, I don't remember seeing them come in the store, but I know of them somewhat.
Yeah. So it's a double-ended Atari 2600 game.
Wow.
So it has two games in here. And what's crazy about the Atari, this is one of the things I love about the Atari, is that anybody can make cartridges for it. Like, I don't think there was a lockout on it at all. I think that's probably true. So anyways, in order to just kind of stand out and give value to people, they would pack two games on the same thing, and you just flip it over.
Oh, wow.
And to find it in the box with the manual and everything is pretty cool. So I don't think he's a big Atari collector, so he kind of asked me if I wanted this, which I thought, heck yeah. So it's Sir Lancelot and Robin Hood.
Seeing the stuff that you have, like, for the Atari, it makes me want to collect for it, because it's just kind of cool to see some of this stuff. Like, wow.
Well, I mean, it's one of those consoles where if you're into the Atari, you're into it. You know what I mean? Like me and John Hancock,
Right.
it's like, I don't know, it's a special console, for a lot of people. And there's a lot of variety for it.
I'm starting to see that. I'm mostly from the Nintendo and up, so
Right.
like Atari, but like,
I know, it's so simple, right?
But the way you show the games off and everything, and how much joy you get out of them,
Yeah.
it really shows. So I'm like, man, maybe I should look into them.
Well, and that's why I was so excited to get new homebrews, because those people, they know how to program for it, they know the limitations.
Even better than back in the day.
Yeah, they're not trying to pump it out just to get on store shelves. They want it to be. They're made by fans, and so
Right.
they're good, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, collecting for the Atari is awesome.
Awesome. Okay, let's see what I got here. So this device basically is called the Top View. Or I hope it's not made by Top View, but anyway, this is a movie card for the PlayStation system, the original PlayStation system.
Okay.
Now, basically, from what I hear, is the PlayStation system was supposed to be able to play VCDs when it first came out. VCDs didn't really take off, of course. So
Yeah,
probably...
VCDs they're right before DVD, so they're actual compact discs. So they only have 650 megabytes of storage on there, and they're standard definition. And I mean, they were this close to taking off. I think they might have in Japan and other markets.
And Korea too.
Right.
They kind of like were selling them everywhere.
Because you could bootleg movies really easily on it, because CDs don't have any copy protection. So
yeah, true. But what you do, you pretty much hook this on the back of your system. Like your PlayStation system has to be like that, the ones that have the expansion port in the back. And you hook this on, and you can put any VCD movie in here and watch it like a regular movie, which is pretty cool.
Is that something you do?
It's something I did when I was in the military in Korea.
Oh, you did?
I had the PlayStation monitor because I have a PS1
Right.
that already has VCD hooked into it, so I had the monitor, and I was watching movies like that. It's pretty cool. But this is just something cool I found that I could hook to my main system, which is awesome. I have VCD movies. My mom has them.
Oh, really?
Maybe I'll ask her to dig them out, but I probably do it myself. But anyway,
Interesting. Huh. I don't think I've ever seen a retail VCD movie.
they were like at specialty stores mainly.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
That's
so
cool.
somewhere that you might find Laserdisc.
That's
there.
true. That's true. All right. Next up for me, this is a pretty cool one here. This was a gift from a friend of ours, Emilio. So Emilio is the guy who found the orange Xbox. And by the way, at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, or was it Seattle? One of those, we learned that he actually sold it to a local game collector who is going to build a museum. So we can now tell you that orange Xbox sold for $15,000.
Yeah. And a museum, and that's pretty cool. Like a game museum here in Seattle. That's pretty cool.
Which makes sense because Microsoft is here. There's a bunch of Xbox developers here, and so having a museum with that in it here, I think makes sense.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money though, $15,000. That he definitely did really well on it. But the reason why I mention that is because as a thank you for doing the video, because he felt that the video really helped that we did. I was just excited to do
But the video really scored a lot.
They're linking to the video off of Wikipedia now. So if you look for Xbox on Wikipedia, the variants, it'll have my video there.
Oh, that's
And so
That's perfect.
I know, and so Emilio, as a thank you, which was very cool of him, he knows I'm collecting for the Game Gear. He bought and gave me the pretty unusual Japanese yellow Game Gear.
They got so many different colors over there. It's a shame.
And it looks like it might be kind of initially when I posted on Twitter, a lot of people thought it was, is that fake? No, this is actually released in Japan. And you're right, they got a bunch of different colored ones. This one's pretty collectible though, because on eBay right now, this goes from anywhere for $150 to $200.
Wow, I wonder what special edition it is. Did it come with a game, or was it?
I don't think it came with a game.
It's just that they just made it.
I think it's just yellow.
Wow.
But it did come with its own box and everything like that. So, which is really interesting about Game Gear, because Game Gears typically are not very collectible. I mean, the gray ones you can find for $5-10.
Yeah,
they're really, really cheap. But this one's in fantastic condition. I will tell you though, and this is kind of a nod to Portland, he did not pay that either. He got a good deal on this from one of the vendors there who's selling it. He paid under $100 for it.
Oh, nice.
Which, you know, again, is like, that's why you go to Portland, because there's deals there. So anyways, thanks, Emilio. This is very cool. I appreciate it.
Oh, my turn again.
Yep.
Another Genesis game, Dragon's Fury. Now, Dragon's Fury is basically... it's a
pinball, right?
It's a pinball game, but it's a port of Devil's Crush for the TurboGrafx-16 system.
Awesome cover.
I know, right? And now Devil's Crush was a pretty, like, over-the-top pinball machine.
Yeah.
Like, it had, like, 3 sections. And basically, it has, like, some of the best music ever heard in the era. Like, it has a really good soundtrack. This has a somewhat good soundtrack, but, of course, it's downgraded. But it's basically, like, I would say like a violent pinball game. Like, it's pretty awesome. I don't have a TurboGrafx, but this was the next best thing for me, and I got this pretty cheap. I got it for like around $5. So.
Yeah, the TurboGrafx ones are really fun. They're some of my favorite pinball games because of they're pretty dark. They're pretty messed up.
Yeah.
You know,
like,
they're
it's
cool.
it's like one of the things, like you hit the pinball in the girl's head, and like she's asleep at first. Do it again.
Yeah.
She wakes up. Hit it again, you see her demonic look, and then you hit it again, she looks like a monster. It's like, whoa.
Yeah,
so,
that's cool you found that, actually. That'd be one I'd like to have.
Yeah, really on point. So happy to have that.
All right, and then for me, I'm kind of wrapping up here. I really have 2 more things, but so I'm always looking for PSP games.
Yep.
Always. And I'm always surprised that I find more that I don't own, which is kind of incredible about the PSP, because, again, most people feel like, oh, it's a failure or whatever. I love collecting for it, and anytime I find a game that I either don't recognize or that looks halfway interesting, I will definitely buy it. So I found a couple here, including one that you gave me, which I told you I was looking for. Actually, I'll start with that one. So I mentioned that I was looking for this game. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's Exnide,
or somebody will correct us if we're...
Yeah, it's this one's the Resurrection. So the reason why I was looking for this is because there's an original Xbox version of this game that's a really fun shooter. And I didn't know that it was out on the PSP, but when I heard that, I was like, well, I gotta own that. So
yeah, and I knew that because I originally got this from Jesse as well, and Jesse had told me good things about it. But man, you know, I didn't play it that much, and I knew you were enthusiast pretty much about this game. So
and I played a little bit, and it reminds me, the Xbox One is a little bit more kind of traditional sort of, you know, overhead shooter. This one, at least so far, reminds me a little bit more of Star Fox, where you're behind your ship.
Really?
Yeah. And so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I actually played it for several levels and checked it out and was like, well, that's pretty cool.
So is it a good, like, spiritual, somewhat side sequel to the Xbox One? Maybe?
I think so. You know, the thing is that the Xbox version has this crazy ass story, and it has no words, and so you don't know what the hell's going on.
Oh, wow.
So I don't really know much about the series other than it's just kind of interesting and weird and sci-fi. So I don't know. I was glad to add it to my collection.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I think we did a trade for that.
Yeah, we did a trade. What was it for?
Was it Conquer?
It was Conquer. That's right.
On
Conquer
Xbox.
On Xbox. Yeah, because I actually asked you in the video. That's right.
Here's another game I found. Lord of Arcana for the PSP. Again, I didn't know anything about it, but it sounded like it was kind of RPG-ish.
Square Enix, huh?
Yeah, and from what I can tell, this is kind of like a Monster Hunter clone.
Ah.
Yeah, on the PSP.
A good one?
I don't know. I mean, I think I paid $10 for it.
Yeah, it's well worth it, yeah.
Yeah, anything usually around that range on
Yeah.
PSP, I'll go for it. Here's another one that, again, I didn't have in my collection. I never know how to pronounce this. Disgaea 2. So that's right. So these are really fun. What would you call these? Turn-based strategy RPGs?
RPG, yeah. Turn-based strategy RPGs.
The PSP version, a lot of people are looking for, so it's kind of cool.
Well, that one, you don't really see this one too often at all.
Right.
So that,
and you know, when you go to these expos, you'll see vendors, and they'll have just boxes of PSP games, but rarely do you and I probably run into one we don't have.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then here's a game, another one I didn't own, called Heat Seeker. Now, it looks completely generic. I played it the other night quite a bit, more than I intended to. It's basically kind of like Ace Combat.
Oh, Ace Combat. Oh,
yeah.
I was thinking Afterburner.
Yeah, no, it's a little bit more like an arcade sim.
Okay.
And it's fun. Like, I played it for hours.
Did you?
Yeah, it was one of those where I kept doing the missions, and, and I would succeed, and like, and then then the next one, and you're doing escort, and you're doing all that kind of Ace Combat stuff. Okay. Where you're. I don't know. It's just really fun.
Does it have voice acting in it too, or just more text?
I believe it had some voice in it.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember now, but again, the graphics were pretty decent. It's PSP. It's all 3D.
I think I actually had that game. I just never played it. Wow.
You know what? You mentioned that it was. Was it like Afterburner? I assumed it was too.
Yeah.
Which Afterburner?
When you look at the cover, you think Afterburner.
Yeah. It looks totally. Yeah, I had no idea. But Codemasters, though, they do these kind of art simulation style games, and so that's probably why.
Okay.
Because they also did what was the racing game that was also on the PSP that was a little bit more of a simulator. Anyway, so I don't know. I was kind of happy to get this.
Cool, man. Is that it for you?
I have one more thing.
Okay. Let's see. Oh wow, I got a couple more things, but do this one real fast. This is the game saver for the Super Nintendo. Now, basically, what this thing does is like, say that a game has a battery that's running out or whatever, you can still play the game and save it on here. It takes batteries, and you can plug it in the wall for, I'm guessing, like.
That is cool.
Yeah, so it's basically just some way to a save state for your Super Nintendo games, which is really cool for a lot of those games because a lot of those are hard. So my buddy Casey gave this to me. He found it for $1, so he hooked me up.
Yeah,
so
that's
thanks,
cool.
Casey. And I guess I'll do one more real fast. Gosh, gotta reach up for this one.
This one's cool. When you told me about this, I was pretty jealous.
So this is the Resident Evil chainsaw for the GameCube,
which I've mentioned that I'm looking for. Let me just hold it.
Now, I got this thing. It was pretty much in pieces. My buddy hooked me up with it. I told him, hey, he said, do you really want this? I said, yeah. And I pretty much taped it together and glued it together back together because I figured I'd rather fix it up a little bit. I'm fine with that because it's not really a chainsaw I'm going to use as a controller to play the game. I could play it for fun.
Well, I've heard that as a controller, it's not very good.
No.
But who cares? It's got blood.
Exactly. So it's really cool, and I'm happy to have it because I like collecting for Resident Evil type stuff. Yeah. So it's just going to sit on top of the shelf. But
so this is the GameCube one. Now, do they make Xbox and
the PS2 one? They made a PS2 one, which is actually, in my opinion, better made than this one. So I'm not going to use either of them as a controller, but as a remembrance to Resident Evil 4,
which is a fantastic game.
Yeah, pretty awesome. So yeah.
Wow, that's awesome, dude. All right, and then
okay, here another one. I got one more after this. I found this at the show. Now, the reason I bought this Space Turbo, because my cousin, he had something similar to this. It was like a car game that you kind of like just drive on this map and everything, which is cool. But every time I went to his house, the batteries were always dead. So, as a kid, I was like, man, I always wanted to play it. So I saw something like this at the show, and I immediately picked it up. So Space Turbo is like, it looks like, I haven't played it yet because I haven't got the D batteries for it yet, but it's just
D batteries.
I got it for like $5 in box like that. Now, how cool is that? Like something
that is really awesome about the Expo is that it's not just video games. It's
all kinds
toys, of it's clothing, it's jewelry,
DVDs, all that stuff. I mean, you can find pretty much all that cool stuff there. Laserdisc too.
Yeah, actually, that reminds me is that Paul took his wife down, and she'd never been to any Expo like this before. And I think initially she was kind of like, she's not really a gamer.
Right.
She ended up loving it because she is a Doctor Who fan, and so she spent the whole weekend just looking for really cool Doctor Who stuff.
Because I saw like a Doctor Who phone booth that somebody had there.
There was a bunch of this. She just went nuts.
Okay, good.
She bought a bunch of really cool stuff. So, but it, you'll even get comics there. I mean, all sorts of really weird stuff, including actually over here. So. I have to mention that, and I mention him a lot, Corey from Classics. So down in Kelso, Washington, it's a retro store. It does video games, it does books, movies. He sells everything, and really good friend of ours. He usually will ask you what you're looking for, and then he'll typically bring it. Well, he messaged me on Facebook, and he's like, I had a guy walk in the store who sold his entire 1970s collection of Kiss vinyl records.
Oh, wow.
Now, it's pretty unusual to find vinyl records of Kiss back in the day, just in the wild.
Right.
You never find them at garage sales or pawn shops anymore. So he asked me if I wanted them, and I was like, yes. I spent the most money at his booth, actually. He had just every Kiss album, and I want to show a couple of these because, here, hold these.
Yep.
These are the picture discs. So, back in the day, they would release the actual album art on the vinyl itself. So it's pretty cool.
It is really cool. Wow.
Yeah. And it's kind of unusual to find these at the Expo, but I don't know, it's just so many cool stuff there. So
yeah, Corey really looks out for it because he hit me up too, asked me what I needed, if I needed certain stuff too. So he's on the point. He remembers stuff, which is awesome.
Yeah, so. I bought a ton of records from him. Actually, I bought games and stuff too. So, you know what? I have one more thing.
Oh, yeah.
Are you done?
I got one more thing too. So who goes for it?
You go first.
All right.
That's right, because I forgot my Holy Grail item.
Okay.
It's behind the camera.
So at the Expo, I was talking to a friend of mine, Robert. He's another collector, and Robert told me that he had a PS2 test system. Now, basically, what a PS2...
So it says test on it.
Yeah, it says test on it. This is what the developers use. I'm guessing to test certain games out there.
Yeah, probably.
But this is a PS2 that's region-free. I can expand my game so much now.
Your eyes.
This system, dude. Dude, because the PS2, I've been wanting to mod my PS2 to where it can play everything, but there's so many like crazy things that you have to do. I just want it to be... I just want a system that plays the game.
Does it have
from the
hard
get-go?
drive in here?
You can put a hard drive into it too. So I have my hard drive still on my regular PS2. I'm gonna start buying PAL imports now, Japanese imports.
I see future videos.
I might even trade off some of my Super Nintendo games just to get some more PS2 because PS2 and PS1. You know, that's just...
Oh yeah, that's your thing. You know, and there must be hundreds of Japanese-only PS2 games out there. I bet.
A lot of exclusive games, fighting games that didn't come out over here. You know, so I just.
So where did you find this?
I got this from Robert. He's a collector. I call him a silent collector, but he collects too, and he actually has a couple of these. And he said, "Hey, yeah, I got a couple of those. Did you want one?" And he hooked me up. We did a trade for it, and I'm just really pumped to have this. I can't wait to take it home today and play it. Because I found some import games for it at Super Smash that I could play on it. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, so... Wow. That's, out of all this stuff I said, this is my holy grail.
All right. And then for me, I guess this is the final thing here. In some of my intros, you will see this next thing in here because I used to own it back in the day. We moved and lost it. Then I wanted to do a video comparing it to the iPad. Okay. And then I borrowed it from one of the people in the Seattle Gamer Forum. I forget what his name is. I drove all the way out there to pick it up one day. And oh, crap, I don't remember.
He's on the Seattle Forum?
Yeah, but he let me borrow it. And I played around with it for a couple weeks, and it just brought back my high school memories, and I had to give it back. Incredibly hard to find, especially functioning. And so I'm gonna go grab behind the camera here.
Okay.
And that is...
Whoa, how did you lose something like that?
Well, it got thrown out. I think Rebecca actually accidentally threw this out while we moved one time.
Okay.
So this is the Commodore SX-64. So what this is basically a Commodore 64 that is completely portable.
It's got his own keyboard.
Yeah, and it actually snaps up here. And it also has a color monitor and also the floppy drive. It has a port for the cartridges. It does joysticks in the back. You can send it to an external monitor. So these things are really collectible. The one thing about this thing is that it's basically considered the world's first portable color computer. And it's pretty massive. It weighs 23 pounds.
Dude,
it's huge. But back in the early 80s, this was kind of a big deal. Like, you know, having just because computers were so big and most of them weren't portable, but this one was. And so,
did you like see a lot of people like take it out, like sit anywhere?
Well, I used to have a friend of mine who owned one of these when I was in high school,
right? And
I was always really jealous. These things were not cheap. They cost $1,000 when they came out, which is about $2,400 today, or you know, it's expensive. I mean, considering the Commodore you could buy for like $300 to spend the money on a portable one was pretty crazy. Whew. I know. But to get them working, today they're very collectible. Usually you pay $300 for these or more, if they even are for sale. Like you never want to buy them over the internet because Just one, the shipping would be brutal. The keyboards won't work. The floppy drives won't read. So anyways, at Portland, Sal is a guy who runs one of the local gaming groups. I'll put the name right here. It was set up and people were playing on it, but he had a price on it. And it was Sunday, and and I was making one last pass through, and I saw it, and I was like, I don't have a lot of money left, but I really, really want that, and so I made him an offer. He sold it to me for $160.
Oh, awesome, dude!
Which is, again, thank you very much.
Yeah.
He was happy to have it go to a good home, and I was really happy to finally get it back in my collection.
Dude, you know, seeing this thing now, I want one, man. That's really cool.
Well,
like, it's just
you know, if you're going to jump into the Commodore, this is a good option for people because it will play, you know, floppy disks, you know, cartridges,
now,
whatever.
Here's the thing: would you consider most Commodore games playable?
Yes, absolutely. Because back in the mid '80s, you know, Commodore was super powerful compared to. Or super, and I shouldn't say powerful, but it was basically like it was a gaming machine. I would probably equivalent or kind of compare the games to maybe the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
You know, but because they're on floppy, they're often way more in depth because you can have a game with just more stuff. You know, so like role playing games on the Commodore were epic. You know, they would be huge and. Have voice sometimes and all that stuff.
Oh wow! So does this have a headphone jack too, in case you just want to?
That's a great question. It does have like a little panel here. I don't think so.
But nonetheless, it's still cool. Is it pretty loud? I mean, can you turn it up?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, you know, for a lot of people, this was their working computer. So
awesome.
Yeah. Anyways, that's kind of my holy grail item.
That is really a holy grail. So if I actually want to pick one up, man, so you were.
Well, one, I have a search on Craigslist. I've been looking pretty much every day for 2 years and never ever seen one come up.
Wow.
Yeah. You'll see other Commodore stuff come up, but never one of those. If you know, I think that one dude I borrowed it from was the only guy.
Well, I guess my best bet is probably like at some convention or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, so
yeah.
Cool. All right, guys, so these are the pickups that we got pretty much from the Portland Retro Game Expo, the Seattle Retro Game Expo, and just going out hunting. Lots of fun and lots of good pickups. We pretty much just picked out the ones that we thought you guys would be interested in, that we thought stood out, so lots of fun. Yes, every year we look forward to it. It's one of those events where, oh my God, like I took an extra day off from work just to go down early, you know, and... Yeah, it's really mind-blowing how cool that event is. I mean, the people you meet, how friendly they are, the fun times they're having. They have video game arcades set up, free play arcades,
music, trivia, auctions.
Yeah, it's overwhelming. It's like you can plan a vacation going to that event. Totally.
As a matter of fact, Kinsey, when she usually goes down, because she sometimes works it, but she plans an extra couple days afterwards just to recover and to play some stuff that she gets. Oh, smart. I need to do that next year because I know. You know, that would be really. I want to actually stay down there longer next time I go because the weekend is just too short. Oh, dude, I know. And there's a sushi place down there. Oh my God, it's so good. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thanks very much for watching my channel. Thanks, Reggie, for coming on. We're doing Brofist. Yep. Always a pleasure. All right. Take care. So that is my pickups video with Reggie. I had a great time hanging out with him. Now, I know this video is a little bit longer than most of them, but I just kind of wanted to let it be uncut and let you guys just sit there and kind of almost hang out with us. You know, two game collectors, two friends, sitting in the game room, talking about what an awesome time we had. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know down in the comments below, and thanks for watching.